I'm going to teach you another method to help you remember the sequence of items. It's called the Russian doll method. Hence the picture on the screen, this weird creepy picture with these faces. So this is how the Russian doll method works. So let's say you have a tree and the next object that you want to memorize is a skateboard. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a place on the tree to place the skateboard. So it might be, on the trunk, it might be in the leaves or a branch. So let's just say it's in the branches with the leaves, okay? So you place the skateboard there. Now let's say the next object is milk. And so we're going to place the milk on the skateboard somewhere. And so maybe the milk would be placed at the wheel, on the wheel of the skateboard. Now the word after milk is dog. So maybe we place dog in that little triangle opening on the milk. That's where we're going to place the dog. And that's it. So you can keep going on and on and on because you're going to keep finding different locations on the object to place the next object. Okay? And so that's how it's Russian dolling, right? Because you have the big Russian doll, you open it, it's a smaller one, open it, smaller one, so on and so on and so on. Because when you go back to see this image, right, the tree, you don't see everything else. You just see the tree, but then you take the tree apart, right? You're like, oh yeah, in the leaves, the branches and leaves, there was a skateboard. Oh yeah, on the skateboard, there was the milk on the tire. Oh yeah, or on the wheel. And then, oh yeah, there was a dog in that little triangle opening on the milk. And so you're Russian dolling, right? You're going smaller, smaller, smaller because you start with the big object and then you kind of get smaller, but in your mind, it's still big. And so that's pretty much the method. And let me know what you think about it if you ever tried it out or if you want to try it out. Because for me personally, it seems like a watered down version of the story method. Essentially, it's the story method without the story. You just have the items touching each other. But what happens when you have an object that really doesn't have different parts to it? For example, let's say you have a stick. A stick, a stick is a stick, just straight twig looking thing, right? Line looking thing. Okay, so maybe the next word is a cloud. A cloud is just like this poof splotch. And so, okay, where are the different parts of it, So you can see where, from my point of view, it doesn't really make sense to kind of use this method. It's interesting, don't get me wrong, the concept, but it's essentially, you're just connecting one object to another. Might as well make it a story so it's a little bit more impactful, more memorable than like, oh yeah, the milk was on the skateboard. Because essentially, if you forget if you forget one of the bigger Russian dolls, right? So if you forget the tree, you forget everything essentially, right? And so if you forget the skateboard, you forget the milk and dog because all those things are attached to it. So you can see where if you miss one of them, everything after is gone. But with the story method, even if you forgot something in the story still continues, but there might be a gap, but the next thing in the story might help trigger that missing object that you had in the story. So let me know your thoughts about this. I think it's interesting. Maybe it can be applied in a different way that would make it more efficient. Maybe that's something I have to try out. But let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.